Castor is a film podcast filled with dubious opinions, plot spoilers, and a healthy sprinkling of bad language. Thanks for listening.
Take a much loved movie and stir in a different cast. Add a hint of nonsense for a flavor that will last. Garnish it with fun, film facts, it's food for the soul. It's a tasty, yummy, silly, funny movie casserole. Casserole.
Hello and welcome to Casserole. My name is Jim, and each episode myself and my two co-hosts, Sam and Nick, reviews one of cinema's much loved or unloved films with the aim of also serving you up a delicious recasting.
That was unsettling.
Yummy.
Was that a Hannibal Lecter impression, or just
like
in like a?
That's what I always do when someone like brings food at a restaurant.
Just make everyone feel super.
Can I finish my intro now?
You go for it.
And here's your steak, sir.
I'll just give you two children a minute.
Sorry, carry on.
You sure I can carry on?
Yeah,
carry on.
Sure you're done.
Yeah, I had it held in then.
I'll cut that.
I should hope so.
I'm not gonna cut it.
Right. But before we can get into all of that, don't forget you can subscribe and follow to Casserole on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever it is that you get your podcast from. And if you like what you hear, you can give us a little donation via the link in the description, via our pinned post over on X, or by simply going to the link buymeacoffee.com/Casserole podcast. As I said, I am not here alone. Joining me here once again is the wonderful Sam and Nick. Hello.
That's it. No food this week.
No,
No food this week. I've been a bit ill, so
he's not had time to think of
my
It's a la carte.
my thinking brain's not there. So you can be you two be whatever you want.
Can we make up our own?
We've just got his lizard brain tonight. That is thinking.
That might be better than normal me.
Yeah. What I could be.
Why don't you both be what you last ate?
Calamari.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
you fancy day.
I made a little bit of tuna and mackerel pasta with a bit of calamari.
That's fancy. I made a veggie stir fry.
Yeah. Oh, that's not what I want to be. What I'd want to be is, you know, when thinking like school dinner sort of memories.
Yeah.
You know, when custard's been left out a bit too long, and that sort of skin goes on the top.
You want to be the
that.
skin on top of a custard?
Skin custard.
Skin on your custard.
That should be the name of the next band.
Skin custard.
That's just gross.
Now introducing skin custard.
That is grim.
What genre would that be? Yeah, would it be metal?
Yeah, like Screamer. And I will be like crispy onion.
Oh,
like crispy
nice.
onion, because it improves pretty much everything, but everyone always forgets about it and never has it. But when they remember, they're like, "Oh fuck, that was good."
Oh, on a burger.
Oh man, crispy onion.
Come on. That is literally.
Right. This week we'll do it. This week we round up. This week what have we been watching?
I mean, this past couple of weeks.
Yeah. Oh, I don't mind jumping in straight in.
go on,
So it's kind of catching you guys up a little bit. We finally started and finished Baby Reindeer.
Oh man. How weird's that been? Did you see the Piers Morgan thing?
A little bit of it. I had to go and have a look to see
Weird.
the real stalker.
Do you think she actually convinced anyone after that she's not guilty
I
as
don't think she
sin?
did herself any favours.
Well, so I had this thing of like, for a while you were kind of like, oh, it's like, what's going on here? And then as soon as you really got into it, you realised, if you know like anything about filmmaking or the acting process at all, there must be quite a lot of truth to what the guy is saying, because there's no way that actress could have got her mannerisms so spot on.
Oh, it was so spot on, wasn't it?
But without a lot of audio files to copy. She must have done her research and listened to these audio files and sort of.
Did they ask? I was going to say, did they not have the hundreds of voices?
Well, that's the thing. But she must have heard.
Because he said he compiled them, didn't he? In the series,
exactly.
He compiled hundreds of. Yeah.
And so the actress must have listened and got her cadence and.
What a performance!
But like, this woman just. I mean, it was one of these things where, like, I actually thought halfway through, I kind of wish that Piers Morgan would stop it, because she clearly just needs help.
Yeah,
And
it was a little bit exploitative, I think.
Yeah, it felt awkward, and I don't know, Piers Morgan actually going easy on her was almost more disconcerting than him being a dick.
It's so obviously gone completely global, this series. You've got people like Stephen King like commenting, saying like "holy fuck" and that kind of stuff. So it's just gone boom, like it's gone stratospheric. And I think, was it Richard Gadd? I think he's gone on to say he never expected this. Even so, I think you do wonder, like, this fallout was bound to happen as well. I don't want to turn this into the Baby Reindeer show.
Yeah,
but,
as soon as I saw that, I thought as soon as it's out, she's gonna try and get her name out there and clear her name and lo and behold, oh look, it's Piers Morgan jumping straight on it. But obviously, Richard Gadd even put a post out saying like, don't try and hunt these people down. You know, that's not the purpose of the show. And like, obviously in this interview, she said, "Oh, I don't believe a word of that. I reckon he wanted it done. I wanted it around. I was like, I don't think he did."
I think the problem, because my wife was like, why didn't he like change the characters more than just their names? But I think the problem is like that the way she says things and the way she is what makes it so compelling. Like if you changed it, it would have just been like, well, standard stalker film. Like, you know, that he had to keep a lot of it the same because that's the USP.
Yeah.
I do think I don't know really how he could have done it. The way that maybe he would have hidden it more is if he hadn't have acted in it. You know, if he'd just been a writer.
The biggest holes of it is like
But that's the
real.
thing,
This happened to him. But yeah, I can't.
But him acting in it brought out a lot of the emotion of it because it's his story.
How crazy is that though, to relive all of that? But yeah, this happened to me. Like, it's incredibly brave, but also like, wow. But I also wondered like the whole thing with the abuser. Like that's bound. You know, people have been trying to identify him.
I don't know how true it is. Allegedly, I think it's Richard Osman. Allegedly said that loads of people
Everyone
know
knows
it.
who. Yeah, knows who it is. Like,
allegedly has said that everyone knows who the abuser is.
But ultimately, with all this speculation, you do wonder why either it hadn't been done prior, and obviously the series covers a lot of like the main character's feelings around hesitation, around taking ownership or doing, you know, going to the police basically. But now it's like, surely does that has to happen now, doesn't it? Like people, if this person is like doing the same thing to other people, surely, well, hopefully you think this would probably come forward, or I don't know.
Well, I guess, yeah. I mean,
but yeah, that has been
proving it's going to be the difficult thing so many years later.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that's good. That's
good stuff. I too have seen Baby Reindeer and all that stuff. Watched the film that we're obviously going to be recasting tonight. We've been rewatching Dexter.
Have you?
Yeah, so we started that and we've been going through that. We've been enjoying that. The early seasons of that is really good.
It peaks after about season 4, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, season
it's 4 or 5. I can't remember which one.
Then it starts getting weird.
It peaks after the Trinity Killer.
The Trinity Killer is amazing.
So I think it's either 4 or 5. I can't remember which. It's one of those two seasons. But that's when it peaks. That series. Then it kind of
bloody.
The last series is weird.
We talk seeing his sister basically.
Yeah,
when you say last series, are you talking as in season 8 or when it returned?
No, season 8. But the return was pretty good actually.
I never watched it because I soured big time off season 8. So I've not touched it.
It's a lot better than 8.
Yeah.
It like finishes it nicely.
Oh, okay.
You should watch it. It is good. I would have preferred it actually to start up a whole nother like slew of series.
Yeah.
But it finishes.
It was just a one and done. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah, I haven't been really watching loads and loads. Yeah, kind of a bit boring for me. Sorry, guys.
You should apologise.
I know. I'm sorry.
Apologise to the listeners now.
I'm sorry, listener.
I mean, if you're going to apologise,
Tom forgives you.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I've actually done something quite interesting this week. I was honoured to guest on the Seismic Cinema podcast for their May the 4th Be With You special, reviewing and talking about the 25th anniversary of The Phantom Menace, which is obviously just been re-released in cinemas. So just want to say a massive thank you to those guys for having me on. Really, really great time. Absolutely go and check out their episode. You can get it wherever you get your podcast from, or there's a video version of it if you want to, for whatever reason, see what I look like over on YouTube.
But yeah, and then nothing really from you, Jim.
No, not really. No.
Other than obviously, you
Other
know,
than-
another viewing of this top film of yours.
Well, 2 viewings actually.
Two viewings.
I've watched it twice.
You've watched this twice?
Yeah.
In the space of the last 2 weeks?
How many times have you seen this film in total in your life?
Space of twice in the past 5 days,
Wow.
maybe.
Twice in the last 5 days?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the sequel.
Wow, okay. And you know how you said when you rewatched this, you were taken aback, you'd forgotten all about one of the main characters?
Yes.
The second time you watched it in the past 5 days, was it still a surprise?
No, the second view is more to just to kind of see if I could spot some of the background details that I've been seeing in like a lot of the trivia and things like that. So
And
just more like I
obviously-
wanted to just have a look, keep an eye out for more of them, because obviously they're the kind of things you probably don't see first in your first viewing because you're not looking for them.
But
Right.
now you see it.
Yeah.
Hey. So do you want to tell us what it is we're recasting? Because James, this is...
Yeah,
you
so
mentioned one
we're
of the
doing something a
top-
little bit different. We've decided to kind of get a bit of variety in our picks rather than them being just action film after action film, or, you know, just... We've decided we're going to kind of start taking in turns to pick a film each week. I've taken the first shift on this one, and I've decided to pick... I'm going to call it a divisive film, but not probably through its quality. I mean, it's more divisive on your enjoyment of it is going to solely rely on how much you enjoy magic. And
Do you think?
I think so, because for me, I really enjoy a good heist film, and I also really enjoy magic, and this is a good blend of the two.
There's not many films that blend the two.
No.
And so that's why I've always, and it's not, and I personally enjoy it. I call it one of my favourite films, but that's not because it's in my top 10 or anything. I don't have a top 10 films. If I say something's like a favourite film, it just means it's a film that I really, really enjoy, and I will quite happily go back and watch it again quite frequently.
It's on his nice list.
It doesn't mean it's in a top 10 or a top 5 or anything like that. If I just say something's one of my favourite films, it just means it's a film I really enjoy.
Okay.
This film we're recasting this week is 2013 film called Now You See Me. It's a magic, well, I guess a heist film.
It's a magic heist film.
It's a magic heist film set
Where they
around
steal all
a
the
group
magic.
called the Four Horsemen, which include Jesse Eisenberg, Isla Fisher, Woody Harrelson, and Dave Franco. It also stars. It's a stacked cast.
It
So
is.
it's got Mark Ruffalo, Michael Caine, who I'm sure Sam's gonna throw a few out there.
I can't do a Michael Caine impression.
James, now would have been good.
That would have been good. right?
Morgan
Nah, don't worry about it.
No.
Morgan Freeman, and I'm not even gonna pretend I know the name of that old lady.
But even like the bit parts in this are stacked.
Yeah. We've got Melanie Laurent, who's
I know.
Anna Day. Who else have we got? Michael Kelly, who's Agent Fuller, who's one of like the other FBI agents. I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
FBI.
FBI, yeah.
Common, yeah.
Common, yeah. Well, I chose not to recast.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a small.
Even when you
much
put
smaller
it in, he's like the second name on the list. I was like, surely not.
Really?
Yeah.
He's only in a couple of scenes, isn't he?
It's-
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the core cast that we're
But
recasting in this
it was a stacked cast. I was convinced when I picked this film. I was like, I'd forgotten about a lot of the cast. I was like, it's only the main 5 that we'll have to do. I say I forgot about a lot of the cast. I knew Morgan Freeman was in it. I knew Michael Caine was in it, but I didn't realise how much they were in.
one.
I was convinced it was going to be the Four Horsemen and Mark Ruffalo. And then I watched and I went, no, this is going to be a big one.
Michael Caine's actually in it less than I remembered him being.
Oh, really?
I thought he was going to be. I thought he was in it more, but I'm thinking of the sequel.
Sequel, yeah.
Right.
Which, missing a trick, isn't called Now You Don't.
I mean, come on.
We all think the sequel to Now You See Me should have been called Now You Don't.
Come on. And there's a third film that is about to come out soon. Or
I
be
don't
made,
think it's been. I don't think it's started filming yet.
I mean, wow.
Yeah.
There's going to be a third one of these films. So, tell us a bit more about, because you said, not necessarily in a top, because you don't have a top list, but one of your favourite films.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about what you like about the film, what stands out to you.
Well, I think it's just because it's one of them. it's just an easy watch, isn't it? It's not an overly you don't need to be fully switched on for it. Obviously, if you really want to focus on a lot of the things, you then by all means, switch yourself on, look at the granular, because a lot of things. There's a lot of details in this film that do swing back around, and then they are in there later on in some of the explanations for some of the tricks and things like that. There's a lot of details, and a lot of details in some of the things said as well also relate to things further on down the line as well. So if you want to switch yourself on and really get into the nuts of it, then absolutely do that. If not, and you want to just watch a nice heist film which involves magic, you absolutely can, and you won't. I don't think you'd feel aggrieved either way. I know it's also, but I'm also aware it is probably an acquired taste. I know this film isn't going to be for everyone. I'm sure at least one of you hates this film. I'm willing to put money on it. One of you is going to shit all over this film.
Well, maybe I should go second. I don't hate it. It was fine. I saw it when it came out, and I was like, "That's fine." I am a fan of a heist film, but I'm really not a fan of magic. I think a magic is
in film or at all.
Well, at all, but in film,
particularly in film.
The idea of magic is like, oh my god, how did they do that in front of my eyes?
Yeah.
On film, you're like, well, they cut. And then they moved, and then they started the camera again.
Even I guess seeing a live magic performance on your TV is different to seeing something on film where they've created a scene. Yeah.
I guess there's an element of how did the practicality of that trick work? But the premise of it is a bit more silly, because these kind of magicians are brought together by this sort of mysterious benefactor, and they are doing this huge show, and they're doing this show.
Good point, actually. We need to summarise the plot.
Yeah. And they're brought together to do this show, and at the end of this show, they'll then get to join this sort of secret eye organisation called the Eye.
A cabal of
which
real
magicians. Is it insinuating that magic is real?
Not sure.
Because that's what I didn't really get, is they were the Eye are the keepers of real magic.
Yeah.
Well, but magic is open to your interpretation.
No,
if you don't think it's real, or I've seen some magic I don't, not a fucking clue, and then I've seen some stuff well, that's quite obvious how that's done.
Yeah.
But I think it's very open to interpretation. Magic. You either believe what you see in front of you is real, or you don't. It's like clairvoyance, in my opinion. You either believe what these knobheads are saying, or you just laugh and call them knobheads, which they are, because that's just fucking nonsense.
I think, but in the world of this film, they're insinuating that magic is real, and they're joining a secret organisation that police magic.
I don't know if they're the magic police. I think they're just centuries-old cabal of I don't know. I suppose it would be like being inducted into the Illuminati or something, but with cards. Do you know what I mean?
But with
it's
nicer suits.
Yeah, it's just a secret society. I guess of magicians, but I guess also they're meant to be kind of fixers of wrong.
Yeah, they're kind of like Robin Hood, aren't they?
It's just giving another name to the inner circle of magic, essentially.
Yeah,
right.
So I liked the film. The cast is great. They are all pretty good. I think Jesse Eisenberg is a bit miscast in this.
Do you reckon?
I don't buy him as the lover.
No, he's not. He doesn't ooze Lothario, does he?
No, he doesn't. It's you feel like all the scenes where he's kind of with women. They're because in the script.
Really.
But
there's one, but even
exactly.
then, it felt awkward, didn't it?
So I think my cast actually is better. I've got him.
As you say, you've actually got a really good spread of the cast. You've actually got two that pair together in the film, so you've actually been able to work quite well with that and try and get a good pair in. Whereas I think me and Nick have got.
Work with what I got.
I think. Well, my last thing before we move on to Nick, I just think it for want of a better word, misses a trick. It kind of it just feels a little childish at times, a little bit obvious. They're like, "Oh, did you spot that clue we left in there?" I'm like, "Yeah," because there was a good couple of seconds where the camera just focused on the name of the safe, or yeah, I got that because they, kind of do a wink, wink to camera, and it's like I feel with the Ocean's films, which is clearly this is kind of like an Ocean's-esque film.
Very much meant to pull on that kind of snazzy, charismatic kind of vibe. Isn't
In
it?
the Ocean's films, there's like genuine bits where you go back and see how it's done, and you're like, oh wow, like I want to see that scene again to see if I missed something. Whereas in this one, there's not really any of that because they kind of, as they're going along, they're like, wink, wink, this is kind of happening now.
Right.
So I felt it was a little bit kind of ham-fisted at times. But it was enjoyable. I didn't have anything against it. The only thing, I genuinely wanted to say, not being like, two-sided on this, like, when I heard it was one of your favourites, I wanted to give it a chance and just be like, not sure why it was one of your favourites, because to me it was just sort of run-of-the-mill. And I wanted to kind of hear from you what elevated it for you to kind of make it more than just a okay film. But yeah, so hopefully we'll get into that.
Yeah.
What about you, Nick?
Yeah. It wasn't. It wasn't for me. This film. On paper, what a cast, right?
Yeah.
Great cast. Almost a great cast. I think maybe this film should have been called Now You Smug Me, because the amount of smugness in this film, particularly, I totally agree. I think Jesse Eisenberg is utterly miscast in this kind of role. I think his kind of slightly infantile sort of smugness works in a film like Zombieland, where kind of he's constantly he's got like a group around him to always not make fun of him, but to put him down that he can react to in a comedic way. Whereas here, that only kind of happens a tiny bit when there's a scene when they're travelling on their private jet, and Woody Harrelson and Isla Fisher's characters are kind of poking fun at him. Like, that's the only time that happens. Dave Franco, I think if there was anyone that could pip the smugness of Jesse Eisenberg, it is fucking Dave Franco.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. I think this film, I think the entire premise is so incredibly convoluted and preposterous, even for a magic-y, like, heist film. Even for that, I think there's stuff that's like, is just completely, utterly preposterous. I think a lot of the kind of scenes and effects, a lot of the setup, it basically revolves around 3 big set pieces, maybe 4 if you include the car chase. And that is kind of each of their big trick reveals that they do. Like the final one, they jump off a building and turn into money.
That's not even a trick reveal.
What was the second one? The safe, the big container safe thing.
Yeah, the safe thing.
So that money. And the first one, to go in reverse order for some reason, was... What do they do at the beginning? They rob the bank.
They send them to the bank in Paris.
Well, no, the first one was to rob the bank.
Yeah.
Second one was to rob
the safe.
the benefactor, Michael Caine, whose name I've forgotten. That was the second.
Arthur Clay.
Tucci.
Hang on, I'm the one recasting him. I should know his fucking name.
I began with a T, surely.
Arthur Tressler.
Arthur Tressler, yeah. So that was their second one, to rob him.
Right. Which you didn't see at all, because it was just like the actual trick was just like the numbers on paper changing.
Yeah.
Everything else was like bank transfer in the background. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, so there's no other than the people going like,
That was the
$80,000.
second one. The third one, was the robbing the safe.
Yeah.
And then obviously the fourth one was just them getting away.
Well, yeah, and there was also the car chase.
The big car chase. But that was part of the third one.
So I just think it's kind of big, glitzy. It's kind of trying to be this massive, big cast blockbuster. I think it just really falls flat for me. And I think most of it is just like the general smugness. Like there's no real jeopardy for any character at any point, because it's all about, most of the time it's about them going like, we are the smartest people in the room, or at the end, like. So, spoiler alert: if you haven't seen this film, or you've probably seen this film if you're listening to this, at the end it's revealed that Mark Ruffalo is who the fuck is he? He's the son.
Oh yeah.
Of the illusionist that was killed like 20, 30 years ago. He was killed when he was doing a Houdini-style trick, locked in a safe in a river. And that was partly because he was doing that because Morgan Freeman's character, Thaddeus Bradley, who was a magician debunker, had like egged him on or said he was shit or something. And then also because the company that owned the safe makers, which was owned by Michael Caine's character, they cut corners.
No, Michael Caine's character owned the insurance company that didn't pay out.
They didn't pay out, yeah, and something to do with the safe as well. Like, so part of this is a revenge story, so it's a magic heist and it's a revenge caper, because it's revealed at the end that Mark Ruffalo's character is the magician's son, and this whole while he's been playing the most ultimate long trick of all time, which is to lose your dad in this unsuccessful
Don't think
illusion.
that was part of the trick.
Well, no, but that's what kicks it off, right? At 12, he then decides what he's going to do, so he joins. So obviously he must have done his studies to join the FBI, joins the FBI, builds up an illustrious career in the FBI because he talks about taking down mobsters and that kind of thing, then gathers together the four horsemen.
But also, while he's like getting his illustrious career, gets good enough at magic to be inducted into the magic circle.
Himself. So he must have been doing that on the side. And then it's revealed...
Are you trying to tell me an FBI agent can't have a hobby?
No, not at all. He's welcome to. Right, so there's that whole thing. Right, you know what's weird about that? When he has the scene with Morgan Freeman's character and he changes, the big reveal, right? It was me all along. He's changed. When he becomes the magician, he turns into a smug prick. As well, like, where's like the whole time he's kind of like the slightly relatable leading guy.
Are you trying to say all magicians are smug pricks?
Yeah, so much.
No, do you know what? Because Woody Harrelson is actually, as he often is the best thing in this film.
He's really good.
The best thing in this film. He's got some moments of comedy.
Do you think this film is like everyone watched this and was like, if we take a few people out, you've got a zombie film right there.
Right, and I just have to say, where I was like, no, I think I'm out on this one, was the two big acts of revenge in this film are, we just touched on the one that happens with Michael Caine when the four horsemen do their second big trick and they transfer all of his millions to the audience in like 80,000 to that audience member, 80,000 to that, and they're reading out their bank balances on their phone. Oh, I've just had 80,000 added to my phone. And afterwards, Michael Caine's in the bar like disillusioned because he genuinely thinks like, I've lost all my money, like there's no way I'm getting that money back now. Like, surely, if there's a televised live magic show where technically, in a criminal act, people have transferred your money to another person's, and you've got them there in the audience...
And you know all the people.
You know all the people because they've all bought tickets, you would surely just go... We'll take that money back, thanks, because that's just been illegally... So we'll just have that back. That's okay. And then the second one, which is the big act of revenge, is... The whatever money was in the fucking cargo container in that safe, that suddenly appears in notes, stuffed in his 4x4 when he's walking to his car in the garage, and all the police turn up like all the sirens because his 4x4 is entirely stuffed full of cash, and he gets sent to prison because of that.
We got
you red-handed
for like a long time. He said.
I mean, would you not get sent to prison if you're suddenly found with your car full of millions of dollars that you know has been stolen?
I don't think so. When there's been two previous magic acts
who have been shown to be like taking revenge on these millionaires.
And what's the thinking there is, oh, Morgan Freeman's the big bad, but he accidentally pressed the explode the money in my car button.
What would you like? I want to watch the film that is the trial of that crime. Like, what would the prosecutors be saying? What would the defence be saying? Like, well, the defence is that I walked to my car and I found it was entirely stuffed with banknotes. And the prosecutors are saying, so your plan all along was to you somehow got hold of the money, fuck knows how, and your getaway was to
he explained how they got hold of the money.
Don't worry.
He explained how they got. That's how the
mirror.
But like,
that would be their explanation.
The police on himself.
Well, no, it would have been the horsemen because they've set him up.
Yeah, but did the police get in there and not think it's weird that some people randomly told us that there'd be a man here with a car full of money?
Got a tip off for you.
Yeah, but they've set him up because they've done a good enough job of putting enough suspicion on Thaddeus Bradley.
Can I just say, if he's walking to his car, which just to reiterate is entirely stuffed with cash to the roof. Right, you can't even see the windscreen in this car. It's full of cash, and he's walking to it as though he's going to drive off. I'm just saying.
Well, it's not. The money appears when he unlocks the car. It's called a magic trick.
What?
I imagine what's happened is that the trick was he presses unlock, his airbags explode. That's where all the money
And
is.
that was full of cash.
Instead of airbags, it's the money.
Right.
And that's what's happened.
Okay.
That is
I'll
what's
let
happening.
that off, yeah.
So
yeah, sorry,
I
preposterous.
mean, obviously, not being a member of the inner circle, I'm not entirely. I don't know. That's exactly what. But that's my guess.
Are you doing this again? Are you doing this again where you're like not knowing how this works in real life? This is not real life.
But this kind of trick could be.
But it's not.
I know. I'm not saying. I know it's not. It's on film. But someone somewhere could do this kind of trick. I bet. I'd be willing to bet. There's a magician out there that will have done this kind of trick.
But yeah, so for me, I just think it gets a little bit too lost in itself. It's trying to be a bit too clever. It goes a bit too far, and it just dives into kind of preposterous territory where it's like, what? And then by the end of it, I just didn't really care, like, because nothing really, no one was in jeopardy at any point. Nothing really mattered.
I remember the
so
first.
It wasn't for me.
I remember the first.
Sorry, I don't mean to see it on a film that you really like, but it's not for me.
I mean, it went with the first time.
I do remember the first time I saw it, that I saw the thing that it was going to be Mark Ruffalo, because I was like, they've pushed that it could be Bradley or it could be this French woman so much, it's not going to be either of them. So the only person that could end up actually being the people that, like, are inducting them into the inner circle, it's either going to be like Mark Ruffalo's character, it's going to be Michael Caine, or it's going to be someone that we haven't seen at all, and then it's going to be like, well, so I was like, it's probably going to be Mark Ruffalo then, and I'm like,
to be fair, through the film, I was like, well, it's obviously it must be Almadre then. They were pushing that so much. Who's the French?
but that's the thing, they pushed us so much. And then all the film, they were like, the closer you look at someone, it's not them. The closer, and I was like, so they're doing that classic shtick where they're like, in fact, actually, if it had been her, that would have been more interesting because they pushed it was her so much while saying, don't look at the obvious person, don't look at the obvious person. If it then was the obvious person, that would have been interesting.
One final quick thing, Dave Franco's character, Jack Wilder. In the beginning, he's introduced as the kind of street magician / pickpocket.
Yep.
He does the whole thing where he gets all the attention on him on this boat in New York or something. Everyone look at me! I'll give $100 or $1,000 to whoever can spot how this trick's done. And then like someone's like, oh, you did it like this. And then it turns out he's nicked his watch and wallet or something while doing that. I did kind of wonder, like, if he's that good at pickpocket, just go and pickpocket people.
Don't get the attention.
You don't need to do a big magic trick. Just go and pickpocket. Anyway, minor gripe in the wider scheme of things.
Also, he's not really a magician.
He's like the sleight of hand guy. I guess.
Yeah.
Which
You've
is
got, like, he's a sleight of hand. You've got the mentalist,
which is one of the
Woody
big
Harrelson.
schools of magic. Is sleight of hand.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he doesn't do any magic. He
Throws a lot of cards.
he throws cards, I guess. Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's magic-y.
He cuts a pencil in half at one point with a card, I think.
Really?
Yeah, an audience member. There's a montage. Do you remember the montage where Isla Fisher's character is in a giant bubble
Like, yeah.
floating through the air? And there's like that CGI bunny at one point. I mean, there's I was going to say there's a lot of magic in this film. There is and there isn't there?
But that's the thing. I think ultimately that's why I didn't like it. Because like I said, like if I was in the audience, I'd be like, well, that's on wires, but all right, woo. But like in film, she's definitely just on wires. Like, I'm not impressed by magic on film.
Yeah.
Like because it's just it can be CGI or camera trickery. So I guess kind of like how they're explaining it would be like what is it the one with Christian Bale.
I was going to mention
The Prestige.
The Prestige. The Prestige is a very
It's a
good,
really, really good
it's a
film.
really good film, and it's great. And spoilers, the way he does that trick is terribly harrowing and like horrible.
Which one are we on about? The bullet? Is it the bullet catch or
the teleport.
Oh yeah, I can't.
With,
I know there was like
clones
two
in itself
main
and-
tricks from that film. There was like a bullet catch and
The teleport thing, where it's basically clones that die. Like, that's harrowing. It's gross. You wouldn't expect that. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But this is all like, oh well, it's just in a different room.
The reason for all the magic is always just like because they're the coolest fucking dudes ever.
Yeah.
And nothing bad's ever gonna really happen. It's like throughout the whole film, no one's really. The biggest jeopardy is in Mark Ruffalo's character, and his jeopardy is: am I any good at my job as an FBI agent? Because I'm struggling to solve this case. So the payoff at the end that whole time he was just pretending to go through all of that. It just kind of removes any kind of emotional attachment that you had along the way because he was pretending. Do you know what I mean? It was kind of like, well, none of that really mattered anyway then.
I do think it would have been a lot more interesting if it had been a straight up sort of revenge thing. Bit more like, actually, have you guys seen Lucky Number 11?
Yeah, great film.
Oh, that's a good film.
Yeah.
That's a really good film.
Yeah.
And that's a true gotcha twist revenge film.
Yeah, that is a good twist. Yeah.
If you haven't seen it.
I don't know. It's one of them. I know the name, but I can't. Who's in it?
Josh Hartnett, Lucy Liu,
Ben Kingsley,
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
I might have done actually.
that's another big great cast.
Bruce Willis.
Is he in it?
There was a time.
I've seen this film.
Yeah, great film.
Not bad, but
I might have done
that's
it. I might have done.
It's really good. We should recast that at some point.
Yeah, that's good.
It
Having
rings a bell.
said that, shall we get on to our...
Let's do a little bit of a recast.
We can do.
Shall we?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I thought you did pose the question. You want to know why I like this film so
Well,
much?
I thought you'd kind of add that in when you're doing the recast.
No,
yeah.
let's give it.
Well, yeah.
Do you want a chance now? Because I feel like I've thrown some shade at this film, and I don't want that to be the.
Again, it's all acceptable criticism on the film. Like I said, I expected this film to be divisive among us.
Yeah.
Because your enjoyment of it is going to be solely on whether you are someone who enjoys magic.
I don't think so.
Or-
I like good films, so that was what I based it on. I know that sounds shit. I don't think.
But
you
it's
have
not.
to like-
It's not a bad film, is it? This is a good film.
But I don't mind magic, and I thought this was
I
just
really don't like magic.
nonsense. You don't, yeah.
I don't
But you
like
do
magic.
And
mind
then
films.
that's
mind
fine.
film.
If you think this is complete, if you couldn't extend your disbelief for this film, that's fine. For me, this film had a lot. I think it did have a good twist at the end of it. I think if you're a first-time viewer of this film, you've watched this film, you've seen the four horsemen get together with some masked guy, and then it's revealed a year later. We were brought together by this benefactor, whatever his name is again. I can't fucking remember it.
Mark Ruffalo.
This is one of
No,
your
not Mark
favourite
Ruffalo.
films.
Michael Caine.
Tressler.
So
This is one of your favourite films. You've just watched it twice.
Yeah, I'm shit.
Hold
with
up,
names.
there's a lot of people he's got to remember.
I'm shit with names, right? So you reasonably believe, okay, it's Tressler that's got them together to begin with. That's who was under the hood. You're not made to think about Ruffalo, and then you are given the clues throughout the film. Oh, maybe it's Thaddeus Bradley, maybe it's French lady. So at no point are you. You don't know her name.
It's Alma Dre. She introduces herself as Alma Dre. Admittedly, after that, no one says it.
In fact, I think they just call her French lady.
I mean, there is definitely a scene at one point when Mark Ruffalo goes, "Too many French people," and
Yeah, there is.
The first time he meets her, he walks out the room and goes, "There's too many French people," and so yeah. And for me, I think there was a decent twist at the end because you are not made to look at Mark Ruffalo, because I think Mark Ruffalo does a good enough job of just making himself look like the hapless FBI agent. This is getting fooled by the horseman. He comes across as one step behind when in fact he is actually 2 steps in front. Then it's actually the horseman that 1 step behind because they don't, all the little, obviously all the little clues that are there. Some of them are more, admittedly for some reason, more prominent for the second film because the sequel, I know you did say at one point you thought it was a bit pointless. Having watched it, actually expands on all these characters. And I remember it differently, and it actually does expand and work as a direct sequel to the first one.
I cannot remember the second one.
So this,
at all.
having watched, it's a direct sequel to the first one, and it brings back a lot of the characters, expands on their relationships, expands on Mark Ruffalo's character. I think expands on Michael Caine, introduces a new character, and I think it's really well done. I'm not calling it one of the best films ever. Not that silly, but.
You think this is one of the best? But it's one of your favourite films.
Yeah, doesn't mean it's one of the best.
Okay.
Fair
For
enough.
me, one of my a favourite film doesn't mean it's one of the best films.
Cool.
It's just a film that I will watch and go, really enjoy this film. And everything that's in this film, all the little details that get the explanations. Thaddeus Bradley being there as a, you know, especially works as a, you know, magic debunker. It gave me reminiscing of the, what was that magic program back in the day? That
The Masked Magician.
The Masked Magician, where he debunked all the magic. It gave me kind of
vibes
of that.
Yeah.
And I loved that show back in the day.
That was a good show.
I fucking adored that show back in the day, and it gave me vibes of that. I just think everyone acted, apart from probably Jesse Eisenberg, performed their roles really, really well. Woody Harrelson was probably stand out in this film. Maybe Morgan Freeman was really good.
I think Ruffalo was good. I think Ruffalo played it well.
He's a good leading man, isn't he? I think he's one of Hollywood's best.
But I think
5 years.
Woody Harrelson was just stand out in this film, and I think without him, you probably would have had a much worse film. But like I said, every little element in this film, I enjoyed. There was enough. I could shut off. Obviously, I know what's on the screen. I'm looking at the tricks are just CGI or string work, but I can appreciate what's being done and looking at, okay, there might be a magician out there that does a trick like that somewhere. But,
yeah, I mean, I don't hate it.
I'm not at any
It's
point
fine.
suggesting, when I'm watching it, going, what an amazing magic trick. Some of them were actually genuine. Like the one at the beginning when Jesse Eisenberg did that card trick, did it. Yeah, that's him genuinely doing the trick. Dave Franco genuinely did cut Mark Ruffalo with throwing cards.
Sorry. Jesse Eisenberg genuinely... Do you mean the magic trick where he puts the lights up on the side of the building?
The card shuffle part of it.
Oh, okay.
All of that. That was there's a specific name to that trick, and he.
It's some good
It's
shuffling.
called the waterfall shuffle, isn't it, or something like that?
It was some good shuffling.
I'd have to have a look. It was in the trivia. I can't remember what it's called. It was a specific name they gave it. Where is it? The card trick in the opening sequence is authentic. There is no editing. It is what is known as a card force.
Card force.
Wherein the magician makes the unsuspecting audience member pick a predetermined card.
Oh yeah,
when they're flicking,
slightly. Oh yeah, fine.
Yeah, because even as the viewer, you see the
because you just pause slightly.
Yeah, because you literally the mind can't see any of you can't perceive any of the others because it's too fast.
It's an instantaneous pause. It's the same as subliminal messaging in videos and stuff. Put it in for a second, and you're like, "What? Hang on, what was that?"
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm willing to take. I've taken both of your points of view on board. I think there is some silliness. I think there's a few too many points in there. Like I think the revenge thing, plus the getting into the circle, plus the sort of, the is magic real, isn't it real kind of thing. It's a bit weird, but yeah. I mean, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, does anyone got any trivia for the film?
Nah.
Well, the only one I've got is the classic, the one that I think probably everyone knows about this film, which is when filming the scene, when Isla Fisher's filming her scene in sort of the water tank, and she's sort of screaming because her character's supposed to have pretended to be caught and actually drowning. She did actually get caught and start to drown.
Yeah, she was in there for 3 minutes. She was underwater.
Yeah.
Wow.
Before someone actually realised and was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, because like when you're in a scene where you're pretending to drown,
And your
the
character
stunt
is
team,
scratching against the water and everything.
yeah.
And the director's there like,
Nobody knew
well
it.
done, Isla, you're nailing it.
You would have thought that they would have had like a scene, like a that or a something to like show that it was real.
Yeah, but because she's panicked underwater, that's what her character's meant to be doing.
They had a safe word, but because she was going,
With that scene, one thing I did make me laugh was, when the audience members actually think, oh shit, and they run in to try and break the glass. Yeah. And this guy picks up this pole and then proceeds to uppercut the glass twice.
Yeah, that is weird.
I was like, why the fuck are you getting this pole and uppercutting glass when you just swing down or why are you swinging
that
up?
was weird.
I was like, the fuck is that all about? That's some
Weird.
dog shit, whatever that was.
I love how that was the bit of this film. You were like, I'm not buying this.
Yeah.
But
That's
just
too much.
Why are you uppercutting the glass?
Yeah, but it's fucking stupid. Why are you uppercutting a glass tank?
To be fair, I did notice
You're not
the
going
way
to
he hit the glass. Yeah.
You're not going to put any force on that because you're just going to skim off it. It's going to be fucking nothing.
It was.
Maybe it was too heavy.
I was like, why?
To, hoist.
I was
heft the
like,
bar.
surely you just cut. and refilm that bit with someone who can fucking swing it properly.
Well, he couldn't because Isla Fisher was dead by that point.
I think he should have tried it. Got as far as the glass tank, realised it was too heavy. I'll go back and get. Where was that pilot stamp? I'll go back and get something else. Goes back, comes back with a 2x4 this time.
He's a float in there. But yeah.
But anyway, should we do our recastings then?
Let's recast.
Yeah.
So, I think it's probably safe. Sam, you should probably go first. I believe you got Atlas, Henley, and Thaddeus Bradley, didn't you?
I did, yeah. So I got 2 of the 4 horse persons it should be.
Right.
Yeah, they're not all men.
Yeah.
In this day and age,
Come
horse
on.
persons.
Yeah.
Persons of horse
Doesn't roll off the tongue, though,
persuasion.
does it?
No. Horsemen. So, the first one I've got is arguably the lead horseman, sort of the main.
He acts the leader, doesn't he?
Top billing.
Yeah.
Well, he is of the 4. He is like the celebrity going into it, isn't he? He's
Yeah.
the most well known. He's one of the other horsemen who we'll get onto is a fan of him and
He's like the
constantly-
David Blaine.
So yeah, he's the big shot magician out of the group. So yeah, he de facto essentially acts the leader of the group.
So this is J. Daniel Atlas, played by Jesse Eisenberg. I'm always a bit hot and cold on Jesse Eisenberg. I like him in Zombieland.
Yeah.
I like him in Social Network. Think he's the worst Lex Luger there is.
Right.
Lex Luthor, not Lex Luger. He's not.
Yeah, I
WWE
did have some reservations on
Lex
that casting
Luthor.
when I saw that. I thought,
It was a bit weird.
does he play it bold or does he?
He's
is he
bold
young?
by the end of
Right.
it, isn't he? Yeah, he loses his hair at the end.
Oh, and we're now talking about the Lex.
Yeah,
Luke,
yeah,
sorry.
no, not in this.
Yeah,
No.
not
I
this.
was going to say, did I miss?
He had a wig.
Turned
and I was
into
like,
common.
did I see that wig? No, I don't. Now I do. So I've got sort of 2 picks for this. I've got what I've classed as a dark horse pick. It's not really a dark horse pick. Could be a Hollywood pick.
Yeah.
I've gone with Sebastian Stan,
Okay.
who is obviously Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Right.
Really good choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
He would definitely look the part
Yes.
of, like, the Lothario.
Yeah, he's got a kind of chiseled magician look.
Yeah,
about
exactly.
him.
I think he could look dark and kind of,
Yeah. Yeah.
on a podcast, if you don't know, I'm kind of doing, like, magician things in front of my face.
Yeah. We need the audio description for that kind of stuff.
But,
Please tell me that your main pick is who's our UK version of David Blaine?
Dynamo.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen any Dynamo stuff.
You know,
I
it's
don't
really
like fucking
good.
magicians, right? Magic is bullshit. It's bullshit.
Okay. Who have you chosen?
But my actual pick is Andy Samberg.
No.
Nice. Yeah,
because
I like that. Yeah.
He would have the comedy side.
Yeah.
I really like
I
Andy
mean, I don't
Samberg.
think this character is much of a comically character though, but
Well, I think he kind of...
he would
though.
add a bit more of that comedic charm to the character, which would it would play nicely.
I think he would be more like Sebastian Stan would play this really fucking smug, whereas I think Andy Samberg would play it more like it's irritating that you're getting outsmarted by this kind of goofball.
So you kind of root for them
Exactly,
because of that.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I struggled with Eisenberg was like, and it's the way the character's written a little bit as well. But like,
Also,
nothing-
Eisenberg, Samberg, one of the fucking Bergs, Iceberg, yeah. But yeah, Andy Samberg, I think.
I like it. I like that. Yeah.
So his, sort of love interest.
Well, she was his assistant
She was
for a
his
long
assistant,
time. Yeah.
and then
there's
it's talking
kind of-
like, did they have?
But they
Yeah.
are very much a
Yeah.
love interest of the film, aren't they?
Yeah, did they? Didn't they? Kind of, Did he get in her magic circle? Stuff like that.
Well, I mean, it's insinuated that he did
Yeah.
by
So-
one of a comment. I think she mentioned along the lines of like 3 minutes or something.
Oh yeah, that's
She
true.
does. She kind of mentions a comment that suggests he doesn't last very long in bed.
Henley Reeves is the name of the person, the lady, and played by Isla Fisher. I like Isla Fisher. Think she's good.
Do you know what she's really good in?
What's she doing?
The classic film known as Wedding Crashers.
Oh, Nick, fuck off.
She's really good in that.
Well, I mean, she doesn't have much competition from any other actors in that film, does she? So my sort of Hollywood or dark horse pick. Now I know she doesn't really do this anymore, but I think Emma Watson would be quite good in this role.
Yeah.
Kind of posh.
Yeah.
Kind of like a little bit kind of annoyed that she wasn't the main act.
Yeah.
She was the second place to Harry Potter's leading man, you know. She could bring that to it, and she was clearly the smarter one and the better one at magic. But actually, I've gone for an actress who I think gets a bit of a bad rap given the film she's in, but I really like her. I've gone with Daisy Ridley.
Are you going off of the bad rap being Star Wars?
Yeah.
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 Not I don't know what else she's done, but
She's in one of the Agatha Christie ones, The Death on the Nile. She's in that, and
oh,
she's
is she?
good. Yeah, she's. I like her in that. I like Daisy Ridley. I think she's a very attractive lady, and I think she's quite a good actress. And I think actually she's probably the best thing in all 3 Star Wars films with her in. She is.
shade on Adam Driver.
Yeah, Adam Driver is
Not a
phoning
fan?
that shit in. I'm a big fan of Adam Driver. I think he's brilliant. I think in that film he's a neutered dog. That
Really?
by the end
Not
of
ca-
it,
just
is
not cast well,
trying
then.
to get- I think casting. I think it could be good, but I think his character is like in the first one when you're like, oh, this is quite interesting. This is someone who's good but being pulled to the. This is someone that's This is someone that's like bad but is being pulled back to the light side.
Yeah.
That's a flip on what we've seen. That's good. Oh, and the second one he's just a bit of a crybaby. Oh, and the third one he takes his shirt off, which no one asked for.
No, one
And
did
then
that.
like kind of does this weird like sort of suicide that it's just that's terrible. Let's not get into those things. Although actually they might come into this episode later.
Oh.
As
But-
in a minute when you do your next casting.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, no shade, Adam Driver, great actor. But Daisy Ridley, I think, is good. I think she was thrown a bit of a limp horse and she managed to ride it quite well. That's not an analogy. That's not.
To summarise, Henry Reeves is Adam Driver.
Henry Reeves is Adam Driver, yeah. No, Henry Reeves, I've gone with Daisy Ridley.
Nice.
Oh, lovely. Nice choice.
And my final one that I've got is Thaddeus Bradley, played by Morgan Freeman. Hot off the back of Shawshank Redemption. We shouldn't ever try to replace that actor.
Was this
Ever.
hot off the back of Shawshank?
Well, I mean,
Of course, it's about a good 15 years, surely.
I mean for us.
I was going to say, surely you mean off of us.
No, only like 2 episodes ago we did Shawshank.
He took a gap here, he went travelling.
Yeah,
And he
It
came
took,
back
it,
to
it took a
the-
gap decade.
I
They were like,
took
Morgan, do
some
you fancy
time
Prince of
with.
Thieves? Nah. Bring me when you've got a proper film.
I took some time out. Okay, so my sort of dark horse pick, which I think would be maybe quite interesting, because I'd really like his smugness as like I'm the smartest guy in the room and I know how all these tricks are doing, and then see his face change when Mark Ruffalo reveals
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think that would be quite nice, because like you could
quite
see him as
interesting.
like the smug kind of TV personality, like playing it up like, we know how these tricks are done. Ha!
And do you know what, when he does sort of character role cameos and
Yeah,
stuff, I'm
it's
just thinking about a film like Tropic Thunder when he really goes all out on like a villainy character role. He's great, and it's great.
He is.
People would like to see him in
Exactly. I
not
think
just playing like.
I
the
think that would be
leading
interesting.
man.
And people might actually think that he is the big bad, given like his Mission Impossible kind of status. Is he playing the long game?
Yeah. Yeah.
But my actual pick, and this may be too easy, is Stanley Tucci. He's just such a good actor.
Okay, well, that just completely ruins my pick.
Oh,
Me too.
Oh!
What's happening here? Have we got a Touchy triumvirate going on?
I genuinely have got Stanley Tucci written for one of my
Oh,
picks.
Tucci trifecta.
I mean, it's not, because he wasn't who I was going. He's not who I'm picking for the role.
Oh.
But it was someone I was going to consider.
Have you picked him for one of your roles?
Yeah.
Well, let's
I'll
go with
change
Cruise.
now, though.
Let's go with Cruise.
Yeah.
We go with Cruise.
Okay.
Hey, who have you got that you can make with?
Take a minute, mate. Take a minute.
Oh, well, Woody Harrelson.
No.
Seriously, you must.
The French lady.
Do you know what? I like Cruise because I think that's another issue with this film, is that the two people who get revenge enacted on them, so Morgan Freeman's character and Michael Caine's character, Other than a bit of
And the
exposition...
French bank.
And the bank, yeah. Other than a bit of exposition that explains, like, some of the bad things they did in the past. So for Morgan Freeman, it was...
He didn't do anything.
Well,
he just exposed
debunked-
people's...
Yeah.
but loads of
The-
magicians do that.
Admittedly, the thing I don't like about the Morgan Freeman thing is that actually doesn't get paid off until the sequel, and that's when you learn the why Mark Ruffalo targeted him.
Oh, okay, fine.
But just to be
But
clear...
but he does genuinely target him
So
for an
is this
actual
a star
reason.
giver?
Just to be clear,
This is a scar.
they weren't writing the sequel or filming the
Probably
sequel
not.
at the same time as this one.
No.
So we can't look at the first film and forgive any of its plot deficiencies by saying, but wait till you get to
Is there a director's cut that is far superior?
There's also no...
No, I will let you have this. This is a thing where you go, hang on, why was he targeted? Because it isn't paid off until the sequel, and it is actually a genuine reason why Ruffalo's character does target him. But
Right. Oh, interesting. But I also do think with him and Kane's character, they don't do enough for me to make you be like, yeah, when the revenge is enacted on them.
I think they do in the second, though, don't they? This is
Stop, sorry.
Talking about
sorry.
the second.
Yeah, sorry.
In this film...
Kane's character doesn't do much in this. He doesn't do much in this.
no, he is more prominent.
I've got a lot of money and I didn't give it to people. Oh fuck, you've given it to people.
I'd want to see a bit more, of him making some nasty business decisions like there and then, or talking down to people. And with
Yeah, he
Morgan
actually seems
Freeman-
quite nice.
Right, he's
Like,
kind
on
of
the jet,
like
he's
classic
like-
Kane, isn't he?
yeah.
Classic Kane. He's alright.
Yeah.
And then Morgan Freeman, you need to see maybe when he's introduced, he's debunking maybe some up and coming magician, and it just like ruins their career. Then like they're just
Yeah.
like, oh, but you need
Like he
'cause
interrupts
otherwise-
them like during a performance, and it's like, why
Right.
can't you just wait until after?
Yeah, you need
Yeah.
to see him being a dick.
Yeah.
We don't see no dick.
We don't see enough dick. Now you see it, now you don't. You ain't see no dick.
Okay,
Who's next?
so should we move on to me? Or
Well,
you?
who's got other horsemen?
Well, we've each got a horseman.
Who's got Ruffalo?
I do.
Let's go to you then.
Okay.
Because Ruffalo's really
He's arguably the protagonist.
is the protagonist.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll start with Ruffalo then. A character named Dylan Rhodes.
A con.
Didn't know his name at all.
How old do you think he is in this film?
Are you mad? They say his name loads.
No, didn't know it. I was like, Mark Ruffalo, Mark Ruffalo, Mark Ruffalo.
It's I think it's the first line he's got. 'Cause he answers his phone and goes, Dylan Rhodes.
I heard Mark Ruffalo.
You,
He picked up the phone,
are,
went, "Hello."
are you winding me up? Did you genuinely not?
I
know?
genuinely didn't know his name. I didn't know his name at all. I thought he picked up and just went Mark Ruffalo from 30 and going on 30.
The actor of foot.
yeah. You wouldn't let me when I'm angry.
How old do you think he is in this film? He looks about 45.
Yeah, well,
Early
what is
40s,
this?
like
20
middle
years ago. So what?
2013, so 10 years ago.
So he was 49.
Right, yes, he's about 50, isn't he?
I actually looked it up. Not really. He's-
In the build-up of the film, his dad died when he was 12. So almost 40 years he's
So
been
he'd be
planning
30.
this.
he was 40.
No, 'cause it
he was
says 20.
45.
Oh, right, okay.
He was
So
45 in this
So
film.
he's 45, but he's playing a 32-year-old.
He's playing a 30. Okay.
That is a...
Right.
That's
to be
a-
fair,
It's still a long
That's,
time.
that's a good makeup job.
he looks like a 32-year-old that has both become a high-flying FBI agent and
At the same
part of
time.
an inner circle of
There's a
magic.
fucking lot to jump
Yeah,
through.
he's no sleep for 20 years. Right,
Don't
who you
leave
got
time
there?
for
So
any
I've actually
other.
got-
Playing the part of Mark
I've got
Ruffalo.
three picks. First one, I think this one's kind of I think this one is a dark horse, and I could potentially be persuaded to pick this one, and that's Topher Grace.
Okay, I know the name. I need to.
So he
memory
would have
jog.
played
on it.
Venom in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3,
Oh yeah, that's that 80s show,
70 show.
70s show.
Yeah, I'm sure he's done a load of other stuff, but yeah. So Topher Grace.
Yeah,
Okay, that fella. Yeah.
yeah.
So that's become my dark horse pick.
He's kind of a Jesse Eisenberg shout as well, actually.
He would be a good
Bit
one.
of smugness.
Another option I had was James McAvoy,
Oh yeah, nice.
That's
another-
a shout. That's a
I
shout.
love a McAvoy.
but I think the person I'm actually going to go for is actually someone who, when I was looking up some trivia, was actually considered for the role.
Oh.
And I didn't know this when I put his name down. And that's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do think that's too safe a pick.
Well,
I think it's a good one, but I think he
from-
might be too safe a pick, 'cause especially seeing he was considered for the role.
Age-wise, I think it sounds like it works a bit more because he's slightly younger, isn't he?
I like all three of those. I think they're good. I think maybe Topher Grace I would say no, just because I think he would be more of a Jesse Eisenberg, would be close to that. Who was your second one, sorry?
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. I like McAvoy.
He's good, isn't he?
He's
I
good.
would, of them all, arguably that reveal at the end, of all of them, I could kind of see McAvoy pulling off best, that kind of...
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
That
thinking.
big
That's
change,
what I
yeah,
was kind of
but-
thinking when I was thinking when I was trying to pick up names, like who would I like to see at the end revealing themselves?
Yeah.
Like Morgan Freeman turns around outside the bar as McAvoy's there, bold, in a yellow chair.
beasted up.
It was me all along.
Okay, well we'll go with McAvoy then.
McAvoy.
I'm happy with McAvoy.
Yeah, lock him in.
So I've also got Arthur Tressler, which, as we have explained, is the benefactor.
Hello there.
Oh, hang on, here he
Is he
comes.
played by Sam?
He's played by Michael Caine.
Okay.
Me.
Okay.
Me. I am Michael Caine, and I played Arthur Tressler.
Hello,
Did you?
Michael.
I did, yeah.
How did
I
you
must say,
find
you
doing
were
wrong?
very good in this role.
Thank you very much. I brought a lot to the role. I just thought I'll be a rich old white guy.
Do you like magic?
I don't know.
Do you like giant checks?
I do like giant checks.
So if you don't like magic, why did you agree to be in a film about magic and get 4 magicians together?
Because magicians make lots of money, and I like money.
Well, I don't think in the film, I don't think it's his character that brings them together,
No.
is it?
No, it's not. He says they came to him as a four at pitch this show.
Yeah, it's
He's just-
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo
the
brings them
benefactor.
together.
Yeah, but he's the benefit. He's the reason the show is there because he's funding them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's sorry,
Yeah.
I worded it wrong. He's not the one again. He's funding
He
the show.
funds
He's
the
the
But
the
they
funder,
came
yeah.
to him with the
Yeah,
show that
sorry,
Mark
yes.
Ruffalo.
He's laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah. Ah, ha, ha, ha. I've never done him.
Christopher
Yeah.
Walken popped in.
Oh man, I've never done.
You've never done
Michael Caine laughing. I don't think I've
he
ever
ever
heard him
laughed?
laugh. I don't think he's ever laughed.
Has he ever?
Has he ever laughed?
I think it'd be like.
Is it like when he says, "Oh, failed you, Bruce"?
Yeah. It'd be,
I failed you, Master Bruce. Ha, 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 ha. Or something like that. Really. That's the only way I can get to it. I don't think I've ever heard him laugh.
But anyway, I have 2 choices.
Go for it.
Choice number 1, Stanley Tucci,
Oh, yeah.
and my actual choice, I think, is a really easy option. It's Charles Dance.
pop dancing. Pop dancing, because you need to.
Dance.
You need to hate him, don't you?
Dance all the way.
Come
I
on.
think it's the top choice for that one.
Dance to the bank.
Because he could act like on the jet, for example, just a little bit pissed off at all the magicians around him, like they're wasting his time. Do you know what I mean? He'd be on the phone doing some goddamn business. Dance. Oh, mate, it's got
And he could have like a company where he's like, take a chance on dance. And he's got like a really cheesy commercial.
No, he'd be called.
What you mean? His, what you mean? His, you mean his
Charles
company, Tressler Industries?
No, Charles Dance, Mark Ruffalo. These are their character names.
And the film wouldn't be magic; it would be the dance heist, right?
Yeah,
And
No,
I also
dance
thought, again, we'll talk about the sequel.
Dances with Wolves.
Talk about, we're talking about the sequel here, but I'd also think it'd be quite interesting to see Charles Dance alongside his on-screen son, Daniel Radcliffe.
Hello now. Hello.
So yeah,
now.
in the
Radders
sequel,
in
in the
sequel.
sequel, Daniel Radcliffe is Michael Caine's son.
Have we ever seen Radders and dance together?
I mean, we will do.
I'm on for that.
We will do if we remake this film and we
I'm
do the second one as
bloody
well.
on for that.
Yeah, Dance. Lock him in.
And do you know what? That leaves Touchy free for me.
Touchy.
Touchy free for most.
Well, we don't know what your other options are.
Okay.
My third and final one is the final horseman, Jack Wilder. He's Atlas's fanboy. He seeks his approval.
He's like the streetwise.
He's the streetwise guy. But he's very much the background of the.
He's the Artful Dodger.
He's very much in the background. I mean, he's also the sacrificial lamb of the film as he kills himself. Or gets killed to.
Turns out to be a trick.
I actually thought really well done in the film and really well explained. Yeah, I thought
There's a lot of.
There was a lot of moving parts that could have very much gone very wrong, and I thought for a
Those preposterous nonsense.
it's very preposterous. But I think for an explanation and how and actually when they shown it being done, I was like, that's really good.
Although, because there's a helicopter. Did the helicopter not see that there was a car on the front of that bus? This isn't going to make sense if you haven't seen the film, but the explanation is that he drives like a standard FBI car and drives past
Which he's broken into.
which he's
the
broken
massive
into,
fight scene.
luckily to get it.
And I think it's worth just quickly touching on the fight scene between him and Mark Ruffalo's character. Big 5-minute fight scene with lots of flying cards and all that kind of thing. Mark Ruffalo gets his ass kicked, doesn't he? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Which we have to assume Mark Ruffalo was again faking
Yeah.
to stay in character as his FBI.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just go like, oh, all right, yeah, I'll let you go now.
Well, no, because his partner's in the other room.
Okay, but also...
So he had to put on a show.
Yeah.
But he was in the other room with his ass in
Yeah, but it's kind of an open plan still. He'd still be able to fucking see it all.
It was feng shui. It was feng shui.
The fight had to happen because it was good for the fight.
But did Mark Ruffalo know they were going to do the car switch?
I have to assume so, because it's all set up in the room, isn't it? All the plans for the set displays. So I can only assume. I have to assume the car plan was there in.
So he set up.
Because he set up everything in this room for them, hasn't he? So I can only assume he has gone. Because they don't actually show that part of it in the room, but I can only assume they've got the plans for this getaway. This isn't a concoction that they, as the Horsemen, have thought up. All of this is from the plans that Mark Ruffalo has given them from this secret room in this flat. This isn't stuff that they have thought up.
There's a lot of stuff that Mark Ruffalo has put a lot of time and effort in that only serves to fool Mark Ruffalo. Like, he could have cut out like 3 tricks just to not fool himself.
But when you spent this much time planning something, you may as well go all in.
Do you know what? Do you know what this is missing? A trick on myself. I'll put it in as a little treat. So yeah, I like those bits. It's good. Wait, no, hang on. You didn't tell us.
I haven't said anything about this.
Jack
Wilder yet.
I don't like those bits at all.
I'm telling you, I don't like any of the ones I've got.
Oh, really?
No, this one I thought was really hard. I could not think of who to recast him as. Coincidentally, 2 of my picks are both called Jack.
I feel like this is Tom Holland territory.
Well, funny you say that.
I've got one for this.
Well, I'm hoping you do, because I'm not. You'd say Tom Holland territory. He is the better of the 3 choices that I have for this one. But I think it's too small a role for him. He will do the role really well. I just think someone of Tom Holland's stature, he doesn't deserve this. I think it should. So a
main part in one of your favourite
But he's
films?
not really a main, but he's like the lesser of the main, isn't he? He's not really that main. He's kind of...
He's got a fight scene. No one else gets a fight scene or a chase scene. And a death scene.
I mean, yeah, but I don't really want to see that.
And he's got a catchphrase. Nothing's ever locked.
I don't know.
If putting Holland in, should be popping Timotei in for Atlas.
But anyway, my other options were Jack Quaid.
Nice.
After speaking about him last week, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the other one was not very well known, but Jack O'Connell, he was found fame in Skins. I think he then took a long break from acting, or he's done a lot of lesser known ones.
Oh yeah.
Where he's now recently just been in Ferrari, and I believe he's in the Amy Winehouse docu-flick, Back to Black as well.
Unbroken.
Yeah.
Okay.
71 as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there's some very different choices for him. Like I said, I'm not happy with really any of them.
I have to say, my initial thought was Zac Efron.
That is not a bad bloody shout, mate.
Just because, like, I can imagine him being a bit fanboying it up, being
I like
the
that.
baby of the group.
Ratchet up that smugger-meter.
Well, I was kind of hoping someone would have a suggestion, because like I said, I wasn't happy with those 3, and I couldn't. I've been racking my brain trying to think who to put in, and that was not a name.
Also, like him as the baby of the group, like I think Tom Holland would fit there. That guy O'Connell looks a bit too grizzled to be like the baby of the group. Maybe obviously like from the Skins days.
Zac Efron wasn't a name that popped into my head at all. So that is a good shout.
Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult is a great show. He could also play Atlas, I think.
He could. I don't actually buy him as a leading man.
Do you know?
Not like a heartthrobbing leading man. Like he worked actually.
I think for Atlas, he'd be perfect because he's a little bit of a smug git, isn't it?
Kind of, but like, does he really feel like somebody that women are throwing themselves at?
No. He doesn't have that look of someone that women would throw.
I mean, maybe Andy Samberg doesn't either. To be fair, having said that, but I think Zac Efron would be nice in this.
I'm happy to throw your suggestion of Zac Efron in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't sold on any of my choices. So.
I think Dev Patel, something like that, could have an interesting.
Patel.
Yeah, that'd be an
dynamic,
interesting spin on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
there's a lot of Skins alumni there.
Yeah.
Just thrown
Oh,
out.
that's what made me think.
What about that guy that wore the beanie that seemed to be like the main guy in Skins that just disappeared?
Pop him in.
Yeah.
Didn't he die?
No, he died.
Was he not like one of the big deaths from one of the series?
Oh, you mean in the series?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I thought you meant in
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant in the series.
That's not why you weren't allowed to keep acting.
Oh, I thought you meant in the series.
Keep this going. Your career's over
I thought
because
you
you
were about the
died in the
series.
show.
Because you were chatting about Skins. I thought you meant in the
No,
series.
he didn't die in Skins. He was one at the end that was doing that. La 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 la.
Oh, was he?
La 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 la.
Anyway, so that's the by three. Nick, let's
All right.
tell us who you got.
I've got 3 people. Start with Almadre, who is the French Interpol agent. Who's come in, and she's kind of the character who, like we spoke about throughout the whole film, is kind of you're built up to believe that she is the mysterious hooded figure, perhaps the benefactor that's brought the horsemen together. Only for her not to be. So she's kind of the love interest of Dylan Rhodes, Mark Ruffalo's character. They have some kind of intimate scenes together. Do they kiss at the end?
Yeah, they get together at the end. They kiss halfway through, but
Oh, do they?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, they do. And then she walks off, and they put the padlock on the bridge together at the end, don't they?
Yeah.
When he reveals, like, I've been calling you as well this whole time. Can we go out together?
Yeah. This is a great start to a relationship. I lied.
Yeah. But my past 20 years of my life have been a
Yeah.
fucking lie.
I am a virgin because I've been concentrating so much on all this other stuff.
I've just cast her immediately. I thought I
Is
need
it
to go
the one
for
French lady that we all know?
Well, I felt like I needed to go to.
Can we define who we all know? 'Cause I'm probably not going to know her.
Go on.
It's the French. I can't think of her name right now.
Is it Marion Cotillard?
Marion Cotillard. Yeah.
That is who I've cast.
It is.
Do you know why? So, James, you don't know. She plays.
She's in Inception. She's the French lady in
amazing.
Inception. She's the French lady in Batman.
I mean, she's the French lady.
She just
Dark
usually
Knight.
just cast as French
She's
lady.
the French lady in that perfume advert where she's dancing on the moon.
When you need a French lady and Melanie Laurent is not around,
Yeah.
get Marion on the line.
Yeah. Marion Cotillard. She's
I know the name. I just can't picture her.
It sounds lazy, but actually it's because I think she's fucking awesome. And I was
is.
thinking about, I was looking at people like Eva Green, for example, but I feel like
Yeah.
she's a little bit too villainous, perhaps. I felt like, that she would have real chemistry actually with Dylan Rhodes. With Mark Ruffalo's
And
character.
who's the other
Top three.
sort of? I think she's German, isn't she? The other foreign lady that always gets cast in these kind of roles. She's also in Inglourious Bastards. And I'm blanking
Oh
on her
yes,
name.
I know exactly who you mean. She's French actually.
Is she French?
Yeah.
I thought she was German.
No, if this is who you mean Léa Seydoux?
Nope.
Is that who you mean?
I don't mean her.
That's not who you mean. Okay.
No, I mean type in anything for her. Brilliant French film.
Anything? Oh right. You mean? Oh yes.
I mean Diane Kruger,
Yeah. Yeah, she's good.
who is I think German.
Yeah.
But she's
She is
brilliant.
German. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Marion Cotillard. I mean, she's great and she is French.
She's
And
super
I think
bloody
you do
French.
have to cast a French or / European. lady.
I was checked out. Interpol is based in France,
Mhm.
so I felt like I popped her in. So she's in. Welcome aboard, Marion.
Hello.
I also had Agent Fuller, who is the generic FBI agent. We casted him for some reason. He pops up. Initially, he's like, you made to think he's like Mark Ruffalo's boss because he's like, you got to take this case. I don't want to take this case. You got to take the case. And then later on, like the Agent Fuller is like deferring to Mark Ruffalo.
I think he's like his partner, isn't he?
Okay.
Have you thought about the wrong FBI agent?
No.
I thought I'd be picked the one that is his partner.
Oh,
The one
the
that's
Common
quite
Eyes?
prominent throughout the film.
Yeah, he's a.
Yeah, it is him.
Yeah,
It
It is
is
the right
him.
one, is it?
yeah. Not Agent Cohen, who's like the one that comes in. I'm taking over the case.
Yeah,
Fuck
and
it
not
up.
Agent
And not Common.
Flynn
Evans.
who is his boss.
Oh right, okay. No, yeah, I've got Agent Fuller. And,
He's in it a lot, but he's
He's one of those guys. Yeah, Michael Kelly.
the guy in the truck guy, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah. And that's who I've popped in. Stanley Tucci. as actually, because I thought it could bring a little bit more life to that character, a little bit more levity, a little bit more humour. So I popped him in.
Yeah.
And if I wouldn't allowed him, if either of you two would have had him, I would have gone with my second pick, who was Carl Pilkington. Be grateful that we managed to
I mean,
land
it's
on
probably
Touchy.
a good job we left Tucci for him, really.
And I'll leave the best till last, guys. Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's good.
He's great.
how can you recast him? He's absolutely awesome in anything that he's in. He's the best character in this film by a country mile for me.
Yeah.
He's funny. He is kind of still smug, but because he's a little bit funny and kind of makes fun of himself, he's got this like jibes when he's trying to hit on Isla Fisher's character on the plane, and he's sort of saying if you need a bit of basically saying casual sex, but it will be quick. Like he says it in a really kind of managed to say it in a non-creepy way.
Deprecating.
Absolutely, yeah. So he's great. I mean, how can you pick that? There's only one way, guys. There's only one way.
Oh, is it?
It's Vince Vaughn, baby!
Oh my god.
I mean, for fuck's sake, Nick.
Come on.
Can we just...
Come.
Are we allowed
on.
to veto
Vince.
any time he says
Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn?
All right, sorry.
Do you have
but
another
this
pick?
is- No,
Because
this
not-
is a perfect pick.
It's not, because what's going to happen is we're then going to transfer this character to the sequel, where, spoiler alert, he also plays his twin.
He gets a twin. Did you know that in the sequel?
No.
I read about that.
Woody Harrelson also plays his twin in the sequel.
Double the Woody.
Double Woody.
So
plays
it would mean
himself,
we'd have
plays
double
his
the Vince.
twin.
We'd have double the Vince Vaughn, which I can't
So
think
good.
of anything worse.
Well, I'm sorry, but this character is actually... I'm generally
be
trying to think of
fair-
people that could be as good or as kind of, like you said, self-deprecating.
To be fair, as a weird, smug, used to be famous mentalist,
Right?
yeah, I was actually thinking maybe Bryan Cranston.
Pretty good, a little bit too serious, maybe.
Yeah, that's
But
a bit too
like-
serious for the role.
Have you seen Bryan Cranston when he does that like funny thing at the Comic-Con?
No, but I think back to
You're talking about what is just that
The
mic drop
thing.
gif.
But have you heard what he said?
I know. All I know is just.
So he
the
basically
gif
he's at this Comic Con, and somebody's like, "Hey, have you ever been to San Diego before?" And he was like, "Yeah, I have." And they were like, "Do you like it?" He's like, "Yeah, it was good. I was doing your mum." It's like mic drop, and it's like kids like, "Oh my god."
I think back to Cranston in Funny, doing Funny. I think it was he.
Malcolm
do you
in the
remember
Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle, yeah,
He's the dad in
amazing.
Malcolm in the Middle.
There's something about Mary where he's Ben Stiller's therapist.
Yeah.
I think, remember
no,
that?
No, he's not.
Isn't that him?
No.
I could have sworn that was him.
No.
When he's like, he's trying to finish his sandwich.
Yeah, no, it's
Who's
not.
that?
It's the guy that's in Step Brothers. He's the dad in Step Brothers, and he's in lots of stuff.
Yes,
but
he is. He's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's good, yeah.
We got to cast that guy. But no, you can't.
Vince Vaughn is
So
going Vince Vaughn.
we've got to accept Vince Vaughn, have we?
Vince
You
Vaughn.
sure you don't have another choice?
Honestly, I feel like I know.
Like, anyway,
you
at this
don't
point,
give Mavoni any
Bill
credit.
Goldberg,
Right.
Whoopi Goldberg,
I don't.
any of the Goldbergs.
I'll be honest. I don't really care. I don't really like this
Vince
film,
Vaughn's.
but at the beginning,
fits.
when we introduced to him, and he's kind of. I think you could play even more on his kind of failing. He's washed up. His failing mentalist act. I think he'd be doing it on maybe a younger couple, and he'd be trying a hit on the younger wife, sort of thing. Like, yeah, I think he could 100% do this.
Yeah, I do worry that Vince Vaughn's character would have like used his talents for nefarious purposes in the past.
Why are you throwing so much shade? Are you just thinking of Wedding Crashers?
No, I hate Vince Vaughn. He's shit. He is shit.
He is shit there.
But he's
He's not.
He's okay in this. Do you know, actually, the only one I like him in is, Dodgeball. He's good at Dodgeball.
he is. Yeah.
But the breakup
Yes, he is.
with Jennifer Aniston,
But you're
he does play that well.
yeah, he's good. You guys need to watch Freaky Friday.
No, yeah.
It's genuinely funny where he's a serial
young
killer
girl,
and he
yeah.
swaps bodies with a teenage girl.
But I would
So
say
Vince Vaughn
that
is playing like a teenage
that
girl.
is
It's
the
really
only
funny.
film. Freaky Friday is the only film where Vince Vaughn has ever had to act in his life. Because in every other film, he's just playing fucking Vince Vaughn.
But I think he's quite funny.
No,
He's
alright.
got very good comic delivery.
Yeah, but how many takes does it take?
One and done.
One and done.
I bet it's fucking
one
not.
and done.
I bet it's fucking not.
We've
Well,
recast it.
there you go. That's now you see me recast.
Right,
Let's
yeah.
run over the final recasting then, shall
Let's
we?
do it.
Okay.
So So Sam, your 3 new picks for your
So,
roles.
for J. Daniel Atlas, formerly Jesse Eisenberg, I've gone with Andy Samberg for his comic genius and general good looks. Henley Reeves, played by Isla Fisher, will now be played by Daisy Ridley, the best thing in all the new Star Wars films.
Mm-hmm.
And Thaddeus Bradley, formerly played by Morgan Freeman, will be played to make way for Stanley Tucci to be in a much smaller, less interesting part. Will be played by Tom Cruise.
What a cameo that is.
Wow.
Fucking hell. Yeah, so Dylan Rhodes, that was played by Mark Ruffalo, will now be played by James McAvoy.
Who's Dylan Rhodes?
Arthur Tressler, who was played by the one and only...
Hello, it's me, Michael Caine. And if I couldn't play this part, I would want it to go to...
The one and only Charles Dance.
Oh, lovely.
And then Jack Wilder, that was played by Dave Franco, is going to be played by Zac Efron.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Glorious. Yeah, I do like that actually. So I've got Alma Dre, who was played by Melanie Laurent, is now played by Marion Cotillard. I've got Agent Fuller, who was Michael Kelly. We've popped in Stanley Tucci. And Merritt McKenney? Merritt McKenney?
Tucci.
I think it's Tucci.
Tucci. Touchy. No, it's not. They don't call that. What's that?
Touchy Tushy? Is that what you're trying to say there?
Hello, Touchy Tucci.
Call me Touchy.
I mean...
Do you want to just start that one
Yeah,
again?
nail that up. No, keep that up. Can we not keep it?
Stanley Touchy Tucci.
For the record, Sam, that is not the episode title.
Eh?
No, you mean Touchy Tucci.
Just in case you want to edit out, I'll go it again. And Agent Fuller was played by Michael Kelly. We've popped in Stanley Tucci.
Touchy Tucci.
That sounds so wrong.
And Merritt McKenney, who was the wonderful Woody Harrelson, just got an upgrade to Vince Vaughn.
Vacant Vaughn.
Oh my god.
God. Well,
And do you know what? I still wouldn't watch this film unless I fucking had to for a podcast.
Alright, calm down. Well, let us know what you think of our recasting, so you can get in touch with us over on X via the handle @CasterrollPod and let us know how you think we've done. And by all means, comment and tell us your recasting choices as well.
Yeah.
No more.
Can that be in a recurring soundbite now?
What along with Touchy Tucci.
oh,
Michael
Touchy
Caine
Tucci.
Playing Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Right.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Da.
Is that everything? Are we done?
We're done.
Please.
Right, well, thank you for joining us for once another edition of Casserole. Like I said, like and subscribe, follow, 5-star reviews, all that shit. We'll see you again for another episode very shortly. So until then, it's bye from me.
It's a bye from me.
And it's bye from me.
Movie casserole.